Hi, Kelsey.
Hi, Robert.
How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
Not like we've been talking about Avatar for 20 minutes already.
Oh, no, it's totally
No.
fine.
So, we love you, Patreon people.
So much.
Um, I guess when I'd copied some stuff over for you, when I was sending you those templates,
Uh-huh.
it switched what the mix was going to be for your voice,
Fuck.
and it didn't pick up any of our 20 minutes from earlier. So,
It's
this
fine.
this is the stuff you pay for, guys.
Yep. Welcome to 20 minutes into a show that you didn't get to hear.
That's right.
Um, I'm so sorry, patrons. We've already cracked our beverages.
Yeah, I know, but I can try it again for you. There you go.
There we go. Cheers.
God.
You also missed me chugging down my boba.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe that was for the best.
Maybe it was.
It's like.
Okay, where were we?
So, anyway, in case you can't tell from our lovely banner here, we're going over Avatar.
Yes, welcome.
I was supposed to watch Good Place because Kelsey said it was the bomb, so I was like,
Correct.
alright, you gotta watch Avatar. That's like my go to one for you then. And you enjoyed it.
I did.
Okay, good. So let's go ahead and hit it with a review real quick.
Okay, like a rating?
Yeah. So
All
1
right.
to 10. And halves are okay.
Okay.
There's a lot of places that don't do halves. They're like, no, you stick hard to a number.
Yeah, I don't like
I
that.
feel like that's hard. Yeah, that leaves a lot of like specific case room. You know what I'm saying?
Because there's a lot of space between a 9 and a 10, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, Avatar: The Last Airbender as a show,
Yes.
what do you give it?
I am going to give it a 9.5 out of 10.
Okay.
So the only reason it doesn't hit 10 for me is because I think that there are some unanswered questions that I had at the end of Avatar. It wasn't
Okay.
like fully resolved in my mind.
Okay. I agree with that.
Okay.
Because I was going to give it a 10.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I do like the show, but now I'm like putting it up with The Good Place. It is as good as The Good Place. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But when The Good Place was over, I agree with you. I felt just like done. Like,
Yeah.
I'm complete.
The air inside of your lungs was the same as the air outside of your lungs.
Oh, yeah. But when Avatar was over, I was just like, man, like, his story's kind of starting now.
Yeah.
Like, it's time for him to move now to, like, whatever's next. To go be the Avatar now.
Yeah, so we get to see Aang's entire journey, like, from iceberg to Avatar, essentially, is what it is.
Yeah.
So, like, we see his rising action to
Yeah.
bring in some archetypes in here. We leave him at the top of his story, which is it's a great place to leave somebody, I guess. But I
Yeah.
want to know what happens from the top of the mountain. Like, there's
Yeah.
so much left for him in his life. He's 12 years old and he's like achieved Avatar state. What is next for him?
I agree with that. So I will also go with a 9.5.
Okay.
But I would like to let you know, Korra answers those questions.
Okay.
And not immediately. Like, you kind of just get trickle-fed information. And it's not just on, like, Aang. Like, you get to hear about everybody.
Yeah.
You see everybody from the old show in that show and how they grew up. Because I think he lives for, like another 70, 80 years from that point.
Damn. I feel like people in this show live to be like 250.
Something like that.
There's some fucking old ass people he runs into.
Yeah. Like who's the one dude? The
Uni?
one earthbender dude that like the crazy white hair?
Yes.
He's like insane. Yeah. That guy is like a billion.
He's old. He's
Yeah.
very old.
Yeah. But yeah, you get all that stuff from Korra. Like Korra is like that epilogue that you want.
Okay. Yeah, I have not dived into Korra just yet.
Yeah.
But I plan to now.
I think you'll like it more.
Okay.
Because
that's a big statement.
Well, I know you'd said that this show felt like kind of kid at the start, and you were kind
Yeah,
of like,
it really did.
What's gonna happen here, right?
Yeah, the first season was really just like bad Fireboy versus good children,
Yeah.
and that was the theme. That was the whole thing. So
Yeah.
I think
Korra is a lot more political.
okay,
Like I know that Avatar has like the war and stuff going on, but you don't really get too much into it. The focus is, hey, you need to learn these four things.
yeah,
So let's go take you to teachers and you go to school.
right,
Like it's him pretty much going to school. That's like the premise of the show.
yeah,
Korra is like she's already like grown into being the Avatar. She's still young, but like it's like, hey, we have warring countries and you're supposed to be the peacekeeper, so go figure out how to resolve these conflicts. Like she's put into adult situations from like the get-go.
a subtitle for Korra is it like Korra the Avatar,
Nope, it's The Legend of Korra.
The Legend of Korra. Okay,
And it's pretty legendary. That show's really good.
okay.
I need to finish it. Like I
How
still
many
have not finished it.
seasons?
So Avatar is 3. It's 3 books.
Yeah.
And Korra's 4. So it's a hair longer.
Okay.
But, Avatar was like, here's when he learns water. Here's when he learns
Yeah.
earth. Hers is more spiritual. So there's
Okay.
like one of the books is just called Spirit, and it's her really getting in touch with like her spirit side, because she's very brash and just like physicality handles everything. Like I'm the Avatar, I can just crush you all and you should pay attention, you know? But she needs to learn to come at things from like a philosophical mindset, you know? So, hers are more her like delving into like her like her as a person rather
Okay.
than
So
like
she
her
learns.
abilities.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of Avatar, though. Is just like them finding out who they were as people and like
Yeah.
changing their circumstances and moving on. I think that was a big theme of Avatar. It's just like it's very much a coming of age tale. So it gives you like
Yeah.
these are the children that we're going to follow, and like here are each of their individual problems. And these kids have problems. Like they're
Like big problems.
definite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, preventing war and impressing your father and just stuff that like it's
So,
stuff that average children would go through but amplified to a more like magical
oh yeah.
sense.
Like I didn't watch the last 4 like I said I was going to. I
Okay.
I just found a recap on YouTube and he went through the whole show beginning to end.
Yeah.
And man, I kind of forgot some stuff. Like
Yeah.
Zuko has a hard life.
Really
Like I
does.
kind of forgot that his dad was all like, "You spoke when you weren't supposed to speak, so I'm gonna challenge you." And then he said, "I won't fight you, Dad." So he literally beat his ass, scarred his
Burned
face,
his fucking
and said, "Get the
face.
fuck out of my house."
Yeah, it's terrible.
He kicked him out at like 12 years old
Yeah.
and scarred him, like beat his ass, and then kicked him out
Yeah,
because he
and
talked out of turn.
he has that sibling.
Oh, Azula. Oh,
Yes.
dude. Ugh, I hate her, dude.
I
She's
love
intense.
Azula. She's so complicated and weird, but
She's intense.
she's very intense. So, yeah, Azula, I think he really grew up in her shadow. So
Oh yeah.
he never he spent his whole life being like, I am good, I am worthy, I am trying to be the prince, and Azula's just like, I'm naturally shooting blue lightning out of my face whenever I feel like it. So
Oh man,
he had he had so much to go through and to deal with as a kid.
that recap. I forgot this one scene. It's like towards the end when they like tie Azula up right there at the end, and she's literally
Oh.
screaming fire.
Oh God.
Ugh. This show is
Yes,
cool, dude.
I know. I
I
got
love this
goosebumps when
show.
you mentioned that just now. So like I was constantly impressed with the animators and just like everything that they do in this
Okay,
show.
so the guys that made this show,
Uh-huh.
every bending type is based on an actual martial art form.
Yeah.
So every move is a real move. It's a real technique that people would do. So it is a technically
Oh.
accurate show.
Yes, it's like really well researched
I
and just
know.
like it's just it's so cool. I don't know how to explain it other than to say it's
It's cool,
fucking
man.
cool. Like everything in it just feels very much like a love letter to the culture that it's from. Like they
Yeah.
draw from a lot of different cultures in there because there's like Chinese martial art techniques. There's the Tibetan monks that Aang's people are
Yeah.
modeled after and stuff. And just like Buddhism in general comes into a big play because Aang's whole philosophy is just like, I don't want to hurt anybody at all,
Yeah.
ever. And yeah, there's just a lot of like very cool different cultures they draw from to make this show, which is why when like midway through the show, I forget what conversation we were having, but I was convinced that Avatar was like from Japan. It was not
Oh yeah.
of America. And you were like, "No, this is an American show." And I was like,
Yeah.
"That's not true. You're
Oh, it
wrong."
so is.
It totally is, which is crazy to me.
Like, I think I remember reading that the guys that made it, they were just like, we love like anime and that kind of stuff. They're like, but we want to tell a story,
Yeah.
but we want to do it right.
I think they
So
did it right.
I think they did it great. I mean, so like you see like anime and it like comes over here, and like we do like the subs or the dubs and all that stuff, and it's like, well, you got to preserve it in like their language and stuff.
Uh-huh.
There's very little of like our cartoons that make it outside that other countries and cultures love like that.
I can't imagine like somebody fawning over cow and chicken or something
Do
in
you
China
know
and just
what
being
like our
like,
big one is?
let me guess, let me guess.
There's one animated show of ours that is big to the rest of the world that is considered like our pinnacle kind of.
What?
People love it.
Oh.
And we've talked about it before.
The only thing I can think of right now is Rugrats for some reason.
Mm-mm. You're on the right network though.
It's on Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
Okay. Doug. Rocko's Modern Life. Rocko's Modern Life.
No.
Damn it. I love Rocco. What is it?
It's SpongeBob.
Oh, duh. SpongeBob.
That is like considered some of like the peak of American animation.
It is transcendent,
It
honestly.
is pretty good. But I think I would swap it out for Avatar now though.
Oh,
But
yeah.
then again, when we watch anime, we don't watch it going like, "Yep, that's how America looks."
Right.
Like we
I,
don't want a show that's already like what we were watching. We want a
yeah.
different type of show. So SpongeBob is more that difference than Avatar would be for them.
Right, for sure.
So, but man, this is good. This is don't want to make you mad, but this accomplished what Cloverfield was trying to.
You mean?
The guy who made Cloverfield was all like, "Man, Godzilla is so big to like the Japanese culture. I want to make an American Godzilla."
Yeah.
And then it went like that was the reason he made it, because he wanted us to
Yeah.
have a monster that could live on like that. And then it
Yeah.
didn't catch.
See, I can tell you why that failed though, is because Godzilla, you know what Godzilla looks like. You can be like, "Oh, that's Godzilla." Whereas with
Yeah.
Cloverfield, you don't see the monster. You see the destruction.
Yeah, there was too much mystery. Yeah.
That was the whole thing. It's just like, what is the monster? Whereas in Godzilla, it's just like, that's the monster. That
Like,
is Godzilla.
There he is. He's cool.
Yeah, he's a big lizard man. I love
Yeah.
him.
So
So
I feel like that's kind of what Avatar was. They were like, we can make good anime too, I think, if we really tried.
yeah,
And so they did. And I feel like it's good. Man,
yeah,
it's so
I think
good.
it's very good. There are some people that would argue that Avatar is not an anime. What do you think about that?
I'm, I'm kind of one of them, but I don't
Yeah,
know, because to me, I don't know, to me, when you say anime, it's like, it's from Japan.
right. That's what I'm thinking too. So like,
Like, it's not even the style. It's just
yeah,
anime is a Japanese created cartoon.
right.
So I'm actually going to see if I can figure out like a definition.
Googling is Avatar anime.
Just anime definition.
I think
Because this
I think
says
what
it is a style of Japanese film. So it says it's a style.
okay.
So then Avatar would be, because it is definitely in an anime style.
Okay.
For sure, to
So
me.
it's an anime style cartoon.
And
You
then
wouldn't call it an anime.
and then one of the top things here, I just typed in anime definition, and it says, "Why is Avatar not anime?" It says
Yeah, so this is a
no.
common argument.
Anime is hand drawn or computer originated from or associated with Japan, which Avatar is not since it's American. So they're claiming has to be Japanese to be anime.
But it's associated with Japan, right? I would associate it with
Well, it
Japan.
says originating from
Okay.
or associated with Japan as in like the studio that created it.
Okay. Okay. I see.
Like its creation should be tied to Japan in some way, where this is made entirely from here.
Yeah. So it is fully an American cartoon.
Which then you say cartoon, and people go, oh well, that's for kids then. But you say anime, and it's like that's not.
I
So I see
that
the dilemma
that is a big distinction. Which now that I'm
because
thinking about it, why is that? Why is anime like supposed to be this is an adult cartoon?
anime
Why is it
just
okay for adults to like anime but not to like cartoons? That's the bigger question here.
well because in America. I would say, you're like, oh, anime, it's a cultural thing. You're like experiencing another culture. You're broadening
Okay.
your horizons. But you say
Cultural
cartoon,
appreciation.
yeah. But you say cartoon, it's like, what are you, waking up on Saturday mornings because you got nothing else to do, you punk? You know?
Sit watching Tom and Jerry.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I would say that's probably why. But
Um,
I guess technically we cannot classify it as anime,
okay.
according to
Well,
this. So,
so back to Azula and her crazy breakdown.
oh
Um,
man,
it reminded me so much of Phoenix Wright. Like, I don't know if you've played enough of Phoenix Wright to like when
I
to
still
see when
haven't,
they
man.
get to the end. So like whenever they get a criminal and they're trying to crack them on the stand, they
Okay.
go through this like series of transformations where they're like trying to defend themselves, but it gets harder and harder because they're getting
Yeah.
closer to the truth. And their whole personality just like starts to crack and
Yeah.
break and fall in on itself. And the animations they do for that are so ridiculously
One of
over
my
the top and
favorites.
outlandish.
It's the little. I mean, I've only played the first one still,
Yeah.
but I think it's like the very first case. There's like the little Asian dude that's like, and he's all like
Yes.
happy and sweet, but then like when he gets upset, like his toupee starts to fall off and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yes.
or the cat girl. She's like super sweet, but then
April
like
May.
yeah, but then when you make her
Yes.
mad, like that face, she's like, "Rrr," like she turns
Yeah.
so evil looking. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lot of that. Hi, dog. You got a doggy
Oh,
behind you.
hi puppies.
Hello. Um, but yeah, so it reminded me heavily of that. So it
Okay.
felt very, very much borrowed from Phoenix Wright, which also is from Japan.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just something they do.
Yeah.
But
I I just want to know what you thought about when she's like, "I'm losing my mind. I'm gonna cut my bangs."
oh my god, we've all been there, haven't we, ladies? Just like trying to tie it up in a ponytail, and you're like, it's not working. I'm cutting it off. Yeah, I feel like a lot of women have been to that point.
Yeah.
Um, I identify with Azula in that. But
Man.
yeah, just watching her like fight Zuko,
Yeah.
there's nothing cooler than blue fire fighting orange fire, man. That never gets old.
So in that recap that I watched, they were all like, "This has got to be the single most like visually stunning scene in the entire series when those two fight."
Yes,
And
it's
dude,
so
the
impactful.
thing that I can't get over is like when he's doing the punch and just fire just spraying from the end of your fist like that. It's
Yeah,
intense.
it's
Oh my
intense,
god. It's so
man.
cool.
That
Like,
fight though, really, it was so dramatic, and the way that like Zuko takes Katara, fully expecting that they're gonna like be together and like not be together, but like
yeah.
fight her together,
Yeah.
And Katara ends up sitting it out, but then you know Azula goes to shoot lightning
Yeah.
for the first time in the fight, and she's like, "Oh, I could just shoot Katara and
And just
win this
wound
fight."
his soul. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just watching Zuko like jump in front of the lightning bolt to save Katara, that was like really the pin in his storyline, I think, his
Yeah.
redemption arc, because he spends he spends a lot of the show trying to redeem himself and then going back on it, because there's that big scene at Ba Sing Se where he he's like on the side of the Avatar, and they're about to win
Oh
the
yeah.
fight, but then they just kind of like give it over to the Fire Nation, and Zuko's like, "Well, guess I'm back in my dad's good graces. I'm gonna go be part of the Fire Nation again.
Yep.
And that really like wounded Katara, and she was like, I'm never ever trusting you again, because she was so hurt from that, and it
Yeah.
caused pain for all of her friends and her family. So to see her really come around on that,
Yeah.
and you know, be in good graces with Zuko by the end of it was really sweet.
So I kept saying that I wanted you to watch it because by the end everything comes full circle. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, I really
Did
did.
Okay. Like to me one of the biggest ones wasn't in the recap and it pissed me off.
Oh.
It was the boomerang. You do always come
Oh.
back. That's
That's
one of
so
the things I
sweet.
remember the most about the entire show.
Yeah.
Like anytime I find something that I've lost, I'll be like, "Boomerang, you do always come back," and then I'll, you know, like I love that in this world of benders, he could still be something because he was like so upset at himself because he didn't have any powers and he couldn't do
It-
anything,
yeah.
but he was still just as valuable as anybody else. You
Yes.
know?
So I think Sokka is a really important character as far as like being kind of the self-insert almost.
Yeah,
You know how like most often writers will have a character in a book that's like, this one's me. And I
yeah,
think that the everyman can identify with Sokka in this, to be like,
yeah,
maybe I don't have any cool powers or something, but I could do something to help stave off the end of the world.
yeah,
Like, he's got his sword, he's got his capabilities. Sokka's got one really good story. I think a lot of his problems too is that he was wrestling with like, I'm not good enough. I have all
yeah.
these cool friends that are so much better than me at everything they do, and he had to come to terms with like, actually I am really cool and I have a
Actually,
lot
I'm
of
pretty
things that I
awesome.
can do.
Yeah.
So,
I thought you were gonna say his one good story was the Moon Girl.
oh god,
What did you think of that?
that was depressing.
I cried so hard.
God,
I cried so hard at
Sokka,
that.
he's got so much love in his weird little heart.
He tries to love so much, and it
He
never works
does.
out for him.
Yeah.
It
Well,
just like never does.
in the end though, he ends up with Suki,
Yeah.
which I love Suki. She's a good character.
Mm.
The whole
That's the thing. Every minor character in the show has like a pretty good little story to him. Because even like Azula's two friends, May
they're
and
so interesting.
whatever.
Tylee
Yeah. You know, like for May to kind of switch on her because she loves her brother and kind
is.
of sides with him more, and then for Suki to turn on her right there at the end too and be like, "Yep, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna commit myself too because I see that this is wrong."
Yeah, that was crazy. Like that was one of the scenes that's going to stick with me, is when Azula is about to like cut the line and kill everybody on the gondola when they're trying
Yeah,
to escape the fucking prison. And then yeah, she's right there about to cut the line, and as what's her face, May, is like, no, you're not going to do that, and pulls out her hairpins and is like
yeah.
ready to fucking go. And Azula's like, I'm going to kill you. And Tylee just comes
Oh
up and just like, no, you won't.
man.
Just like stabs her to pieces, but you know, in a gentle way.
Yeah, you know, being stabbed to pieces in a gentle way.
Yeah. They did have really good arcs, and there was that strange episode that felt like it kind of didn't fit in with everything, wherein like all the teenagers go to like a beach party and they're just like
Oh yeah,
hanging out with those two weird firebending old lady twins,
yeah,
and they're like, the beach house will tell you about who you are, and they like learn about each other and
yeah.
just share their experiences and their pasts.
Was there a moment in the show that freaked you out?
A bloodbending, that moment.
That one didn't freak me out. For me, it's I will never forget him. It's the thing where you can't make a facial expression or else it steals your
Oh,
face.
don't like that. Don't like that.
I think about that thing all the time.
That was like
Still.
ripped from No Sleep. It felt like that was a
Yeah.
really creepy
I
monster, and
hate that thing.
yeah,
That's that's like one of the moments when I was like, this show is cool.
yeah.
Like, who comes why would you even invent that idea?
That's gonna be something. It feels very like Japanese folklore. Like they have a lot of
Yeah.
really weird fucking shit in Japanese folklore.
I
That
think
feels
it
like it
is
might be.
based on something, but like what a horrific thing to put in a kid's show.
I know.
That's when I think I was like, maybe this is not a kid's show.
Yeah, it's really got elements of not children's show.
I'm like starting to see that a lot of what I thought were kid shows actually have a lot of adult stuff in them, and I
Adult
just
themes
never
just kind of like
noticed.
woven through a lot of children's shows. I think it's because to for for some things, like especially for movies for kids, your adult parent is going to be there watching the movie with you, especially if they just take you to the theater for it.
Yeah,
But yeah, they're trying to entertain the adults as well as the children, so you got to have some like
yeah,
darker themes woven in there that children can gloss over. I
yeah,
mean, I don't think a kid is going to be looking at that face monster and not being able to sleep about it,
yeah.
but
I know.
I lost sleep over it.
um, man, what was I just about to ask you? I was gonna ask you about something else. I was talking about.
About bloodbending because I have a lot of thoughts.
Oh, I'd love to hear about bloodbending because that was in every vague reference that I gave you about the show when I was like, this is going to be the moment for Kelsey. That was
That was the moment
always
for
the
Kelsey.
moment. That was
Yes.
always the moment that I thought of.
Yeah.
What'd you think when that happened?
I
Did
was
you like
really
see that
up about
coming?
it. I saw it coming kind of because humans are what 70% water or whatever
Mm-hmm.
we are. We're just water with meat attached to it essentially.
Pretty much.
So the thing that like really messed me up about it was that Katara really didn't want to use bloodbending. Like she
Yeah.
avoided it at all costs. And you saw it throughout the rest of the show too. So like when she's learning it, the the rat lady or whatever that she is that's teaching her
Yeah.
was just like she wanted Katara to use it so bad that she had to get her to a point where she needed to save herself with it.
Yeah.
So that's what made Katara finally use it. And to see her like doing the whole bloodbending thing and then like just tears streaming down her face, it
That
was
killed me,
really
man.
chaotic and terrible and sad. But
Yeah, when you watched it, I found that clip on YouTube. So, I mean, it was like a 3 minute clip, and I still felt the whole thing. It's just the fact that she got her to do it,
yeah,
and then they're all like, your plan failed, ma'am. And she goes, no, it didn't. And
yeah.
she's now passed that on to Katara now. Like, you can't unforget how to bend that shit, you know?
Yes. And then later on, in the toward the end of season 3, when Katara is hunting down the man that killed her mother, she goes
Mm.
on like that life changing field trip with Zuko.
Oh, yeah.
Oh god. Okay, so they go out like in the middle of the night and Aang's like mad at her of course because, violence isn't the answer. Like you can
Yeah.
always find another way to solve your problems. And Katara's like, "No, I'm going to go be violent." And then she goes and finds this guy. Well, she goes and finds the raider, the leader of the Southern Raiders or whatever, right?
Yeah.
The guy who's supposed to be the man who killed her mother. And then she gets to him and she does this whole like attack on him, like the
Yeah.
whole she blood bends his ass to the ground, and like he looks up at her and she looks in his eyes and you can see just like the horrible malice that's going through her. It's
Yeah.
very un-Katara because her whole character is about just like having hope and being kind and
Yeah.
being the best that you can
Well,
be.
she's like the healer, you know?
Yeah, she's the healer.
And now
So
she's going full DPS on these people.
God, she's got that dude on his fucking knees by the very blood in his body. So he looks up at her and she's like, "Oh, that's not him."
Yeah.
And then they go on to like find the other guy, and when they actually do end up finding the guy that killed her mother, the way that she reveals to him, because his whole mission was like he was trying to kill the last Southern waterbender at the tribe,
Yeah.
and her mom protected Katara and said, "Oh, I'm the last waterbender." And so he kills her instead of Katara.
Yeah.
And Katara didn't know this, but when she gets up to this guy and she learns that truth from him, she's like, "Actually, my mom did protect me." And he's like, "Well, who's the last waterbender?" And she's like, "I am," and like stops the rain
Yeah,
around
dude.
them. I was like, "What the fuck?" That was maybe one of my favorite moments of the show because it showed just how powerful she is
Oh, yeah.
without using violence.
Without doing anything. Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't do anything but scare the shit out of that dude. Because then she turned all the rain into icicles and like shot them at his face and stopped them like an inch from his eyes.
Yeah.
So she's like, "I could kill you right now if I really wanted to, but my mission here is now forgiveness." And she
Yeah.
ends up forgiving him and leaving, which I kind of wonder if she hadn't had that incident at the Southern Raider tribe
Yeah,
where she almost killed the wrong person, would she have actually killed this guy?
probably.
I think she would have.
Yeah, like she was that lost in it,
Yeah.
like she probably thought back to that, like, look at how blind I was.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to lose myself in that.
Right. Yeah, so she goes back, and when they land and Aang finds out that that she didn't use, violence on him, she solved it peacefully. And he's like, "Good, that's the way you're supposed to solve problems." And then Zuko's like, "So what are you gonna do when you face my father?"
Yeah,
Like that part really gave me goosebumps. I was like, "Ooh, turn it around on him, Zuko."
I know. So,
That
all right, the whole like ending battle though.
uh-huh.
What did you think of that? Was
It
that
was
not the most like epic thing ever?
I was just like rapt watching it, just like fully
Yeah,
attentive. And one of the things that I loved about it was that there was so little dialogue.
yeah.
It was just all about the elements and the power and just the fighting. It
Like,
wasn't about conversation.
I really want to watch the movie that is
I
so
do
bad
too.
because in the movie, apparently, like when they do waterbending stuff,
Huh.
this bubble will just go like this fast across the screen and stuff.
Okay.
And then you think about Katara going like, "Stop the rain!" It's
Yeah.
two very different levels of power on
Yeah.
display. Like the show is so much more intense and epic or whatever. And the
Yeah. I
movie
really
apparently they just kind of like go rocks, water, but like they just don't do a lot. I
okay.
kind of want to know how
Yeah.
bad it is.
I desperately want to watch this movie because I've heard so many bad things about it, but I'm like, how can you fuck it up? You had so much good source material to go off of.
Like that's how.
Uh,
Like one of the basic principles is how the bending works, and they ruin the bending. Like they don't bend in any accurate form. Like the whole rock thing. Like I've seen this clip of them doing the rock because like in the show they like stomp the ground and a rock will just shoot out of the
yeah.
ground and they kick it and it goes flying. In like
Yes.
the movie they kind of just like step and it like slowly lifts out and then they kind of just like ooh and it just like floats across the screen.
Loses all of its impact.
Yeah, it's like going from like fighting with swords, like real legit katanas, blades, and then you go to like styrofoam pads. It's just like, yeah, I'm getting you, I guess.
Yeah.
But so
So,
they do the whole fight. That fight is so intense.
yeah.
He hits, okay, dude, when he hits Avatar mode and just like
Ooh.
everything's bursting out of every limb and all that
Yes.
shit. I think about that image all the time. Just him just like hitting
So
full blown
crazy.
mode.
Yeah, like he really hit that thing.
So what'd you think about how he solved it though? Straight
I
up,
thought,
just blink, and just
yeah,
took everything out of him.
take your bending out of your face. Yeah. I thought that that was a really cool thing. There are so many forms of bending that they kind of like briefly go over in the show.
Yeah,
So, unconventional methods of bending, like blood bending, you don't see a whole lot of it. Like Katara could have used it in the fight against Azula and won instantly, but she
yeah,
didn't because it's such a evil way of bending. There's also like sand bending and metal bending and just stuff that comes up
yeah.
now and then that you don't really see a whole lot of. Swamp bending, for example. And then
Okay.
to learn that like the thing that essentially saved the earth in the end was energy bending, just
Yeah,
like bending the you out of you.
yeah,
That was really impactful, I think. And it was cool that Aang had to learn it like on his weird spirit journey with
yeah,
a turtle, a big lion turtle.
yeah.
I thought that was really neat. So
I
there
have
was
another
always like,
question for you.
okay.
Who is your favorite character
Oh,
in the show?
I was gonna ask you this. Okay. So,
Cause I have my one. I mean, hands down, I have my favorite one.
okay.
It's easy.
Um, it's who?
Oh no, I just said it's easy. Like
Oh, okay.
nobody comes close to my person.
I think that each of the characters definitely have their strengths, but I think my favorite character is probably Toph.
Dude, that's my favorite character
Oh
by
my god,
far.
she's the
Toph
best.
is the shit, dude.
She's a fucking badass, and she
Yeah.
doesn't even know it. Like, she knows it, but she doesn't know it, you
Yeah.
know?
Dude,
Like,
she invented metal bending.
she invented it. Like, how do you do that?
Oh my gosh, she's so cool. So in Korra, it's like commonplace to do that now.
Really? Okay.
She like creates it and spreads it.
That's
Like
awesome.
metal bending is like another thing. It's like a harder version of earth bending, but
Yeah.
it's still something that you can practice and learn now.
Okay, cool.
And so,
Yeah,
yeah,
I that was unexpected. Like the part where Toph is in that like metal prison,
I was
and
freaking out. I didn't
I
know
was
how she was gonna
too.
get out.
Yeah, I was like, how are you gonna do this? And then she just is in there just thinking, touching the walls, being like, honestly, it's like Earth. And she just
Yeah, it's just
fucking
shaped
bends
Earth.
it apart.
Yeah.
It was so cool. There's so many like moments in there where you see how powerful Toph really is.
Oh
Like
yeah.
she doesn't let on that she has so much capability within her, but she really she could bend anything she wanted to.
Yeah. I just I just think it's also cool that the person with the disability
Yes.
is like the strongest one.
Yeah.
Like it
There's such
really shows to not look down just because this person is one thing that most people have and they don't, that
yeah.
they're any less. She's by far more
Yeah.
than anybody else that can just see, you know?
If anything, her disability like heightens her abilities.
Yeah.
Like she's such a good earthbender because she can't see. She has to know where things are at all times.
Yeah.
She sees with her feet.
God, I love that. She's so cool, man.
So cool. My favorite Toph moment is when I have two actually now I'm thinking about it. So
Okay.
when she is attacking I think they're on like a dirigible or something at the very end, and she leaps through this fucking metal door at these people,
Oh
and the
yeah.
door becomes armor around her
Yeah,
as
dude.
she's doing it. I was like, what is happening? It's so cool.
Yeah, see, the movie probably goes nowhere close to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if you can replicate that like in film.
Yeah.
It's done in animation for a reason.
Yeah.
um
For me,
for
it's
my
got to
second.
be the metal bending. Just
Yeah,
when when she created it, I was like, God, you're the fucking coolest.
I know.
Like you're just unstoppable.
Another one of my favorite parts is when they're this whole episode honestly, so when they go see the play about themselves,
Oh yeah.
and Toph is like laughing it up and being like, everyone's so accurate, and then her character comes out and is this big buff dude,
Yeah.
and everyone looks at her like, oh, the casting was a big buff dude, and she's like, that's amazing. So perfect.
Oh man.
um yeah, I just think that she is a very interesting and strong character, and the fact
Yeah.
that her family is royalty and they like hide her away because they're embarrassed about her disability and shit. It's
Yeah.
to see her come that far and just become fully realized in who she is. She
Yeah.
has a very cool arc.
Yeah. She's like, so I've taken a bunch of quizzes like what like bender are you, you know?
Yeah.
I never want to be a fucking earthbender. Earthbenders suck. But I always get earthbender, right?
Really?
Oh man, that should have been the shirt I wore because I have an earthbender shirt.
Oh, you do? I'm surprised you didn't
Yeah,
wear it.
I know. Now I'm upset at myself. Well, it's because we've moved and so I just don't have things
Yeah.
laid out normal. But shit,
Damn.
because I always wear a shirt that pertains to stuff.
You do.
Well, I've fully embraced my earthbending place in life. Like, I'm an earthbender, man. They're cool.
Yeah.
Plus, get to be Toph's buddy. Like,
Fuck
yeah,
yeah.
man. I'll be
You get to
Toph's
wear
buddy.
green all the time. It's the best color.
Yeah. So, man, I should have worn my shirt. Now I'm really mad at myself.
Yeah. Well,
I am so sorry that I've ruined this Patreon review, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
totally ruined.
So,
My second favorite character, I would say, probably is Uncle Iroh.
okay, dude. I was gonna ask you, what are your feelings about Uncle Iroh?
I have all of them.
Yeah.
Every single feeling.
He's gotta be one of the greatest humans on the face of the planet.
I literally wrote that in my notes.
Greatest human
Literally.
on the face of the planet?
My favorite person in the entire world.
He's so great.
He's amazing, and just
Yeah,
his whole thing is just like he he doesn't want to be the firebender because he's seen how much destruction and damage his family has wrought upon the earth,
yeah,
and he has so much disgrace on himself because he ruined the first attack on Ba Sing Se or whatever.
yeah,
But like then he realizes at the end, like, actually, my siege on Ba Sing Se was to take it back from the Fire Lord,
yeah,
which was such a cool way to turn things on their head, I thought.
yeah,
And just watching him, like, okay, I'm gonna tell you, I got real upset at one point because so he goes to prison,
yeah.
and that upset me first of all, and I was like, he's gonna rot there forever. And then Zuko doesn't do anything to fucking help him get out,
Oh,
and
I
then
know.
so he gets prison fit in there on his own. It's
Dude,
just like
what did you think of that? He
I thought,
was ripped.
yeah, that was actually really cool, and I enjoyed watching him, you know,
Yeah,
get
get buff.
prison fit,
Yeah,
get buff. But yeah, when Zuko finally like comes to his senses and goes to break him out, he's already busted himself out.
yeah.
And then you don't see him for the next like 6 episodes, and I'm like, Are we gonna get a resolution on this? Because I really need him. Like,
Yeah.
where is he?"
But
So
what do you think when he finally comes back into contact with him and he's like, "I'm sorry for what
yes,
I've done." He doesn't even want to hear it. He
he
just
doesn't. He
grabs
just
him
wants.
into a big hug.
It was so sweet.
Oh my
I
god, man.
I love him so much. I just think everybody needs an Uncle Iroh in their life.
So, did you notice anything about him throughout the show? Right there towards the end.
Um, I mean, he gets his tea shop at the very end.
Like his voice, maybe?
No, did his voice change?
So, the guy that played Uncle Iroh died while the show was being made.
Oh my god,
And
no!
one of the last things he recorded was him singing that song for his son.
Ah,
And
don't do this to my heart.
the reason it sounds so intense is because he knew that he was sick and dying in real life, and he's
What
like
the fuck,
feeling that
Robert?
song. Yeah, yeah. He's like feeling that song. This was one of the last things that he ever made,
Well, that's
and
awful.
they changed the voice actor because he had died.
I hate that.
I
I
know,
want you to know that you made me very sad.
I know, because I heard his voice in that recap, and I cried. I cried at the mere hearing of his voice
Now I'm gonna
because
have to
he was
like
such a
watch the
great man.
recap. Ugh,
Yeah, he's such a good guy. He was in Samurai Jack. He was
really?
the big bad guy, Aku
No.
or whatever.
Okay.
He did a lot of voice acting stuff. But this was his last one.
Then.
Like,
Uh,
yeah, that song for his son is the worst. I cannot listen to it ever.
I fully sobbed like
Yeah,
watching that part.
yeah.
It's like I can't watch anymore today. Like I'm
No,
done.
that's hardcore.
Yeah. That's rough.
So, but I'm glad that you loved it.
Yeah.
So, are you like more excited to see Korra? Is
Yes,
that like your next
definitely.
big thing?
That's definitely the next thing on my list to watch. So
Okay.
I'm trying to
I mean, here's all I'll say. I mean, that the first season of Korra,
Mhm.
was some of the best show I've ever watched of just shows.
Okay.
That first season is just like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
That's
what
that's
is gonna happen?
that's
And
big words.
it's really cool. I like how they do. You were saying that they do the recaps, right? And they're like, last
Yeah.
time on this. When they do it in Korra, it goes all like sepia tone, like film grain, and the little like scratches on it, and then like
Oh
this
yeah.
old school voice, are like, last time on Korra, we saw her do
I
this,
love
and what's gonna
that.
happen next? Like they do it all
Old
old
time
school like
radio.
that. Yeah,
Cool.
it's really cool. That show just has a really cool style about it. You
Yeah.
know?
Does it have pretty much the same vibe that Avatar does? Like it's
No,
borrowing from a bunch of other cultures and stuff?
I mean, yeah, I mean it's pretty much. It's a bit more cosmic. I
Okay.
feel like it's still very spiritual, but but like in one of them, you're like, this is like out there. This is some out there stuff because you get to find out how the first Avatar comes to be,
Yeah, I'm
like
curious about that
like
actually.
ever, like the first guy period to
Yeah.
ever be that. That is that's some good show.
Okay.
I think that happens in like the third season, maybe.
So
It
like,
happens later, but because we lost interest the first time we watched it in season two, we were like,
yeah.
meh. But we were watching it live,
Oh, yeah.
like
Well,
we were watching it week to week,
it's
and it
hard to
just kind
watch
of got
anything week
boring.
to week.
Well, nowadays,
Yeah.
but when I owned it and we could binge it, we were like, why did we stop? Why did we ever stop? This is great. We
Yeah.
loved it.
Okay.
So, it's I think it's on Netflix as well.
It is, yeah.
So,
After I
okay.
finished Avatar, it was like, you might want to watch these next. And it was like Korra and then the Avatar movie and then something completely unrelated because Netflix is like that.
Well, it's widescreen in 1080p, so you'll enjoy it more.
Hell yeah, all
Yeah.
right.
But Core's definitely good. You might finish it before me. I've been like watching that show for like 8 years.
Okay.
I've still never seen the last half. So
I have questions about bending. So like,
okay,
so you said that metal bending becomes like more of a thing in Korra.
yeah,
You can definitely learn bending techniques because Aang has to learn all of those techniques, you know?
yeah.
So in theory, can you teach a non-bender in this world how to bend, or do you have to be born a bender?
No, you. I th- I think Core's the one that goes more in depth into that.
Okay.
Like basically, that point five that you took off the score
Yeah.
is in Korra. Like
Okay.
like they took that point five out and they placed it over here.
Okay.
So you'll have to give Korra a 10.5, I guess.
All right.
Um, it's more like you were born with the energy attachment to that element. So you can't teach a waterbender how to earthbend. They have no connection to that element.
Okay.
The
So
avatar is just connected to all the elements.
I see. So he literally is the last airbender then. Like nobody will ever be born with airbending?
Well, if he has children,
Okay. So he
then
can
it
have
could.
airbender children.
Yeah. I mean, do you
Would
want to
he
know
have
things?
No, don't tell me.
Okay.
So, is it genetic? Like
Yes, it is.
can a firebender give birth to an airbender if they have an airbender wife or something?
Yeah. So think about it. Yeah, I mean, I would just think about it like DNA. Like
Okay.
maybe fire is the dominant over air or something, you
Okay.
know? So like
Yeah.
that that one would take place if that were it. But yeah, you can essentially multi-layer it in, I guess.
Have like recessive bending genes within you. So if
I
you
think
have
so, yeah.
a water mom and a fire dad, could you bend both?
No. No, you will be able to do one.
Okay.
Like
Unless you're the avatar.
yeah, like these guys literally laid out the rules for this whole world. I've like read some of the stuff they put out there. They
Yeah.
released a book that essentially tells you all this stuff.
Okay.
Like it breaks down how it works in your genetics, everything. And I was kind of reading some of it. They have an answer for all of it.
Good.
I
Because
mean,
people like me wouldn't know.
it is out there somewhere.
Okay. All
But
right.
from what I remember, you are strictly tied to one force. Now,
Okay.
you can work in everything within that force. So, like, if I were an earthbender, I can figure out metal. I can figure out lava. I can figure out. I think there's another one they wind up talking about in Korra, but, like, I can do it, but it's like these like other schools are kind of harder
Yeah.
because metal's not just earth, it's changed earth. So I have to
Right.
figure out how to think about that. Lava is not even earth yet. It would cool to be earth, you know?
Yeah. Lava's more kind of water at that point, I guess.
Kinda, yeah. But it can be done, but it's harder because it's almost not your element, you know?
Yeah.
So they get into a lot of stuff like that in
Okay.
Korra. But
Oh man.
it's really interesting how much work they put into that.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I just thought talking about water, that scene with Katara and her dad when like he's finally back and then Aang disappears for a while
Uh huh.
and like they have that scene where Katara is talking to her dad and he's like he left and I don't know why and she's like hugging him and crying
Yeah.
and he's like you're talking about me too, aren't you? And then she just like fucking loses it on him and she's like why did you leave? Why'd you have to leave us? It was so
Yeah.
sad. Like Katara's got so many emotions.
Like they all have like deep seated things inside them that they're trying to work out.
Yeah, they really do. And I think that the show does such a good job of like displaying different personality types too. So
Yeah,
like you have Katara who's like the girl who's not afraid to show her emotions, but she's also not afraid to be tough.
yeah,
And then you have Toph who kind of never shows emotion, but she's fully like physical all the time
yeah,
and almost agender kind of. Like Toph could be easily mistaken for a boy and she wouldn't care.
yeah,
And you have a variety of different like boyhood situations spelled out for you in this too, because there's Aang who's just like peaceful all the time, just wants to play and have a good time,
yeah.
and then you have Zuko, his polar opposite, who is just like, I am going to be full business all the time, no fun ever.
He is business, man.
He is
Damn, he is
businessman.
business.
And then you have Sokka, who's just like, he drinks his respect women juice. He's just a himbo. It's
Yeah,
basically all he is.
yeah.
Bless Sokka.
I love him. He's so cool. I remember,
Yeah.
like, when the show was on, I would kind of catch it on TV. I really think I was watching this before I ever even stepped into anime for the first time, so I didn't really. Anime is like that one kind of show where, like, you have to watch it in order. Like, I don't have to watch SpongeBob in order.
Oh, you can just pick and choose in SpongeBob.
It
There's not like a
might,
linear story, the progression.
yeah, it might help to know, like, a joke that has been playing through the entire time.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, how do you feel about the Cabbage Man?
I was just gonna say the cabbage guy. Poor cabbage man.
Man,
I hope
that
he
poor
finally
guy.
got peace.
Um, that comes back in Korra, I think.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this poor guy. Um, they actually have a Funko Pop of him with like a damaged stand and cabbages laying all over the place.
Oh my god.
But
That's amazing.
like I'd never really watched a show that I couldn't just like turn it on and watch it, you know?
Yeah.
Because I remember trying to watch this and I'd be like, what is happening?
Yeah, this is definitely a show where like you need to watch it linear.
Yeah,
There's maybe a couple episodes here and there where it's just like you could watch it, I guess. You don't have to have the full story of what's going on,
yeah,
but there's hardly any filler in this show.
yeah. Like we're moving this forward every
Yeah,
time. Something's gonna happen.
right.
So I guess I have one more question for you.
Okay.
Just one. How often are you going to be walking around and greet people with Flameo Hotman?
New greeting of the day, Flamio, Hotman, Hotman,
Dude,
Hotman.
we say Hotman nonstop.
It's
That
kind of
has
the
never
best thing.
stopped.
It's very cute.
So I was thinking about it. I mean, we watched the show like 8 years ago
Yeah,
and have
that's a long
seen
time
it
ago.
the one time. We've never watched it again in the 8 years, right?
Yeah.
The fact that we say Hotman, I go, Boomerang, you did come back. When I get Jinx in the car, I say, yep, yep, and then I get her in
Yeah.
the car. Like, this show must have spoke to me in some way that I still reference it almost in daily life.
It's
Just
in your soul
everything.
somewhere.
I mean,
Lives within your energy.
it is in there. I
Yeah.
love this show. See,
I do too now.
I really want to give it the 10. I really do.
I'm very close to a 10 with it. One huge unanswered question that I have that I don't know if you
Okay.
know the answer to this either. So at the end, the very final thing that we see from Zuko is him going down to see his dad in prison. And he's
Okay.
hanging out there just like bendless down,
Yeah.
basically boneless at this point in
Yeah.
prison. And he asks his dad, like, you're gonna tell me where my mom is.
Okay.
I have a feeling this comes up in Korra, or at least I hope it does.
No.
No?
It was a comic book.
What?
There's a whole comic book series that is him doing the whole mom story thing.
Okay, I need to get that.
So yeah,
Does it
you
also
have to get that to
answer
read it.
does it also answer what the fuck happened to Azula? Because the
I
last
think
we see of
so,
her,
yes.
she's just chained down cackling, and that's like all
Yeah.
we get from her. So
I think so too. Like Zuko got an entire comic series dedicated to that story.
ugh, God. Okay. Good.
So, I
So
mean, it's out there for you to get probably in some bundle or something.
yeah, I've got to find that. I'm sure it's available on the internet somewhere.
That or
I think
Comixology because they sell
yeah.
digital comics, and they might go on sale for like 99 cents a piece or something.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so maybe after I read that, I can come back to this and revise the
Yeah,
Avatar universe to a 10.
because like Korra answers like your how the powers work questions kind of thing,
Yeah,
and it kind of answers what happens to the people, but not everything. Then, because yeah,
okay,
we don't really get what happened there, but like I said, you know the outcome of everybody like 100 years from now,
okay,
because they are all either present or you find out about them.
okay,
Like you know everything about all these people.
good.
And guess who one of the lead actors is in Korra?
Who?
J.K. Simmons.
What? Who does he play?
He is Aang's youngest son.
Okay. I'm trying
And
to imagine J.K. Simmons playing like a child.
oh no, he's a grown man.
Okay.
Like, I mean, this show takes place. Korra's a long time past. Like,
Okay.
all the kids that have happened are grown ups by this point.
Okay.
So, but J.K. is in it, and he's one of the best parts of the show.
One of the best parts of anything he ever
Because
does.
he's just the best. He
He
does make
soaks
that show
up.
good.
Yeah. He just he's so good. I love JK.
Yeah. I will give you one more thing about Korra, though.
Okay.
So, you know, one of the big things about Avatar,
Yeah.
and I know it's your big thing,
Mm-hmm.
Sky Bisons, man.
Ah, Sky
Appa.
Bison!
Okay. So, you know, the Avatar always has their, like, companion animal,
Yeah.
right? Dude, the companion animal for Korra, it ain't no Appa, man.
Thing is Appa,
You
except for
cannot
Appa.
top Appa.
You can't top Appa.
No. No Tapa Appa. But hers is okay. It's definitely not as good, though.
Okay.
But she does have one. I mean, it's a very good mirror of Avatar, but when you watch them, it's like one's the kid version and one's the adult version.
Okay.
But it's almost like the same show for like the kind of characters you get. You
Yeah.
get you get somebody in each bending type. You get a lot of good minor characters, you know. You get a lot of people that teach you the history of stuff.
Yeah.
You get some pretty good villains in that show too.
I,
Um, couple good little critters, not as many, cause like
yeah.
so so there's Appa and Momo, right?
Yep.
I love Momo. He's
Almost
cute.
cute.
So the Momo and Korra, I do prefer.
Okay.
He's like a little red panda. Oh,
Panda.
he's adorable. I love him.
I love red pandas.
I can't wait for you to watch that one.
Yeah,
But
I'm gonna have to start watching that one soon.
if Avatar ripped you up inside, Korra's gonna be like tenfold that because
Oh God.
it's way more adult and like that's like a kid version of dark. Like, oh yeah, this is big, you know, but it's still not
Yeah.
bad. This is like adult dark stuff sometimes.
Okay.
It's a pretty hardcore show. God, I really want to watch it now. I really want to get done with it.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of like anything that we haven't hit on yet. Are there any other characters that we didn't talk about? I feel like we've given the core for their main dues.
I mean, there's no other real minor character that I thought was that big.
Jet was interesting. I didn't like him, but he was interesting.
Yeah. I mean, there's like the other general dude during the moon story thing that like dicked everyone over and then
Yeah.
he died, which was awesome. Dude, what'd you think though when he like took that moonfish and like the moon just washed his blood red?
Yeah,
He
that
like
was
stole the moon.
really fucked up.
Like this show does big stuff.
It really does. Like it's so cinematic for what it
Yeah.
has going on. Like the huge props to the animators, honestly. Like
Yeah.
they must have worked so hard. Is the show all hand drawn because it looks
I'm pretty sure,
hand-drawn?
yeah. I think so.
There are some scenes like, you know, where they're in the airships or in the submarines that look
Yeah.
kind of
I think like
digital almost.
the ships might be
Yeah.
cuz yeah, like those dirigibles and stuff.
Yeah.
those are definitely like 3D.
Okay,
You
yeah,
can like kind of tell, you know.
yeah,
But I think all your people are hand drawn.
yeah. The fucking fact that Sokka invented submarines in this universe.
Yeah,
Like what? What? He's
it's
so
he's just
smart.
crafty. Yeah,
Yeah,
he is one of the smartest people on the show.
he really is.
It just sucks that he feels so bad just because he's powerless.
Yeah,
But that's his power, though. His mind
yeah.
is his power.
I think that by the end of it, he kind of comes to terms with who he is and what he can contribute.
Yeah.
I felt so bad that he like had to throw his sword away.
Oh, I
He's like,
know.
"Bye, space sword."
Man, I'm so happy you watched it. I'm so happy you loved it as much as I
Yes,
hoped you would.
I did.
I don't think you liked it any more than I thought you would.
Okay, I liked
So,
it just as much as you thought I would.
I mean, I was pretty confident in how good it was. I was
Yeah,
like, she's gonna like it. But I don't think you
it's
like
good.
took off any greater than I thought.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I'm really glad.
thank you for making me watch this show.
You are welcome. So, I guess we need to come up with what I have next and what you have next to watch.
Yeah,
What would be something you would want me to watch next?
I haven't thought this far yet. So
And
like,
also, I'm going to go ahead and put up for you guys. What would
oh
you
yeah,
like to see us review next? Tell us
yes please.
in the secret Discord.
The secret one, the one that only you guys have access to.
The secret Discord.
Secret.
Great White Buffalo.
Great Buffalo. Great White Alpha.
I need to try to think. I thought I had one.
So I chose Good Place. You chose Avatar.
Yeah,
Should I choose the next one?
I think so.
Okay. And should it be a
Or
show again, or should we do like a
if
movie or a video game?
if you guys come up with something really good, we
Yeah.
can do something that you guys want to see. I mean, this is just stuff that
Please.
we want each other to watch.
Yeah.
I know that. What? I told her about that.
Live right now.
Um. So, yeah, we'll just have to think. I know that Ismail has the thing loaded with a bunch of movies and stuff.
Oh man, he's been packing it full on there. Thank you, Ismail, for your constant suggestions.
But like, we need like one good one that like you guys think both of us will just like be just floored by.
Yeah, I would like to
Like,
get something that neither of us have seen or
Kelsey
experienced
knew
yet.
how good The Good Place was and was like, no, you're gonna love it.
Yes.
I knew this show was that good. I knew she was gonna love it. She had to do it.
Yes.
I think I might have my next one for you.
Ooh. You gonna tease it out, or you gonna think on it?
I'm gonna think on it. I think it's
Okay.
a good one.
All right.
And I'm just gonna have to provide it to you because I don't think there's any place that you can watch it all.
Okay.
I don't think it exists streamable in any one place, all of it yet.
Okay.
I think I have my next one for you. But it's a show again.
Man, we gotta branch out. We can't just do shows.
Well, see, I feel like it should go like this. You're giving me shows because I don't
Yeah.
watch shows.
It's true.
And I should give you movies because you don't watch certain movies.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how ours might need to go, but we'll have to see what you guys think as well.
Okay.
So anyway, I guess we did it.
We did it.
I'm so glad you like it. I hope if you guys have watched it, tell us who your favorite person was, your favorite bender, your favorite scene, and I want to know what camp you're in. Are you Earth? Are you fire, water, air? Did you hate the one that you got, but you finally learned to accept it? Because, like, I don't accept Ravenclaw as my thing, no matter how many times I get it in any kind of test. I'm a straight Gryffindor, man. I'm sorry. The sorting hat lets you choose, and I'm choosing Gryffindor every time.
Okay, I'll take it into account.
But, I finally learned to accept my earthbenderness.
Yeah. All right.
And, I guess I'll wear that shirt for you guys on the next one.
Yeah.
I'm so mad at myself.
Get it together.
So, let us know what you guys think. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you are watching this, you're already part of our Patreon, so...
Yeah, we don't have to tell you to join it.
Thank you
You
guys
probably
so
already
much.
know all these socials also. So.
Yeah, we really appreciate you guys. It means a lot to us.
Yeah, honestly, like this has been
are enjoying this content that much.
Yeah, it's been really eye-opening to see that we can do this and that you guys want to see it. Like
Yeah.
it's very nice. Thank you so much for being patrons and for continuing to support us emotionally as well as monetarily.
Yeah. So I guess tune in next time to get the answer to that burning question. How often do you say yip yip in your life?